Most companies manage event invites with emails, Slack, and random spreadsheets. It makes it difficult to track who's actually going, and there's no good way to share relevant detail. This entire system was built in Zite. Check it out. I'm Zack from InnerDev Solutions. Our channel shows you how to streamline operations with automation and AI. If you need direct help, you can visit our website, innerdevsolutions.com. Today, I'm going to build an internal events hub inside Zite, which allows the organizers to create the events. It allows managers to send out invites to relevant events, whether that's for parties like Christmas parties, or whether that's actual conferences or educational sessions that different employees have to go to. This provides an easy method for employees to RSVP to the different invites that they receive. If you do not have an account already, you can get started for free. There is a link in the description below. Once you have an account and get into Zite, you'll have an interface that's similar to this, and we can go up and create a new app. So we'll select app, and we have this interface, a familiar chat bot that OpenAI's ChatGPT and Claude and all of these different chatbot models have, and this is where we will start. There's a few different options along the bottom here. If we hit this plus icon, upload attachments, select the different models we want to use. I just have it set to auto for now. And at the bottom, we also can connect to different integrations. I'm not going to worry about that for this video. And this allows us to select different themes and styles. And then right next to it, we have access. In our case, we're going to allow just our organization only. And if we go over here, there's this little drop down. We have two options. We have build it and we have plan it. Me personally, and what's recommended is to plan all of these apps. Now, if you've used ChatGPT or Claude externally to plan it out and you already feel like you have a really strong plan in place, drop it into the build it and just let it go and see what happens. I'm going to start within this plan it. We're going to build an internal events management type of system. That's somewhere where we can track our list of employees, the different events that we have our employees go to, be able to track RSVPs and all those sorts of things. I'm just going to drop in my planned build to start with, and we will see what Zite comes up with within this planning phase. So all I'm asking for is an internal hub where organizers can invite specific employees to events, track attendance, distribute updates, and collect information needed for participation. I'll hit plan, and I will come back in a moment once the plan is built. This does take a few minutes. And if there's any other steps, which sometimes happens, where Zite will ask me clarifying questions or request some other type of information from me, I will walk through all of those steps with you as well. On the left here, you can see our chat bot, and it's asking me a few questions here it will help determine what plan it's going to provide to us. So the first question is, what information do you need to collect from employees when they RSVP or register for an event? It's given us a few options, and then it also provides us an option to provide additional information. If none of these options quite fit, we can just select this last option and provide additional detail. In our case, let's try and keep it as simple as possible for today. Just attendance confirmation, basic info. There is a few good ideas here, custom field per event. If some events include maybe a lunch, something like that, we do want to collect that information as well. For the purpose of this video, let's keep it really simple. We're just going to collect attendance. So we can select that. Now we have an additional question. How should event invitations work? So organizers manually select employees to event, invite by department, open events visible to all. Let's just allow the organizers to individually invite employees. Now it's resuming, creating the plan based off of those answers that we provided. And I will come back here in a moment. The plan's now created. On the left, here's just a brief summary of the plan. On the right, this is more of your document style where we can scroll through and see the entire plan it's provided for us. Now let's just scroll up a little bit here. We can see there's a few different tables it's going to create for us. Users, that makes complete sense. That's our employees. We have events. So that's any number of events, whether that's your Christmas party, your conference, and so on. Then we have invitations. So that is a junction table that's linking your employees to the events. And then we have an announcements board as well. It's created some endpoints for us, key views, and then it's made a few assumptions. Looks pretty good. There's probably a few additional details that we could add to it to make it better, but let's just build the plan and see what it comes up for us. What this build plan will do is start building the database. It will ask some confirmation questions there. I'm just going to push those through and then it will develop the interface. In a few minutes, I will come back to this. So we can just go ahead, click build plan, and now it's building. And in a moment, I will come back once it asks me for next steps. Now it's asking if it can create a database. It gave me the outline previously in the plan of the database. It looked pretty good. I didn't go into super close detail, but we'll just create the database. Zite's now built the app that's built the database, the workflows, into the actual UI or app itself. And on the left here, you can see it's just, again, a brief summary of what it has done. Let's start in the database. You can see it's got different tables that we have discussed: users, events, invitations, and announcements. We can see here that this user right here is selected to be as an organizer, so they will be able to create events. Here's all the workflows. Zite usually does a pretty good job on these, but we can click into them to view more detail. And then here's the app. Let's give the app a test. One thing I would like to do is allow users to log into the application. Add a login process. I'll submit that prompt and it will think for a minute and it will come back with some suggestions, or it may even go ahead and build this for us. Okay, after running that prompt, the add login and auth process, it looks like that either I've missed an announcement or they haven't announced it yet and it's very new. We can share it to the web and allow external users or even internal users to access it this way. If we add this login process here, basically what it's going to do is publish a public URL where any user can access it. Now we can still restrict it to only allowing users that are within our system or that are within that users table. So it's not harmful to do it that way. There is a new way of allowing just internal or my organization own users access. So if we go into database here, we can see I've added, this is just an additional user record here. I've also added in my email address, and this email address has access to this Zite account or this fill-out account already. Basically what we can do is when we go share, I published the application. So there's just a publish button here that was there previously. And then we can see share to the web is off. And now there is multiple people with access. So to add this extra user, you just click into people with access and you can see here, this is just my secondary account and it's set to the status of use only. We can go into access settings here and we can add additional collaborators. And in this case, I'm an admin for my main account, my secondary account. This is just a use only. Close out of this. I'll bring in a new tab that's logged into with that user profile. And we can see here, if I go back to events, it will show that there is no event created yet. There's an organizer dashboard because I did check that off. If I go into here, we can actually manage and create events. I can create a Christmas party event, add the description, date, time, all those types of things. My event name added. You can add a description if you want. I got my date and time and my location. I can click create event. The event was created successfully. Go back to events. Now we can see that there must be an issue because it's still not displaying that event. It did create the record and it also linked it to the correct user record within the database as well. There must be just something going on in the code. Now that it's working, the database was just a little bit slow to update. We got two things here. This view is events that I am or this user is invited to. And if we go back into the organizer dashboard, we can see that manage events. This is the event that this user created. They have a couple of different options. They can view details, invite employees, and post announcements to that specific event. We'll go back into the invitation section. So if we select it, it has details, responses, and an attendance summary provided for us as well. So let's just select yes. Now that it's locked in, we can see that the attendance is yes, or the attendance summary has one set to yes, and my response is yes. If we go back to events, organizer dashboard, we are going to invite a few employees and see if this functionality is working. So I can select this John Smith, and we'll do Mary Johnson, and we will do my main account as well. Send the invites. Now that I sent the invites, this is again back onto my main account. We can see that I have an invite pending. Same process as before. If I click into it, select yes, no, maybe, it will update. One thing, there's no way for the event organizer to really view who's been invited and what their responses are. Run this in the plan mode, create a plan to implement functionality for the event creator to view who has been invited and their status. We can scan this quickly. It's got the plan ready. Looks like there's only a UI or front end change we need to make because the data actually already exists within the database. Right here, it's just going to say that they're going to build a invited employees section, and then it's just going to display the different information here, the invitee and the current status. Let's go ahead and build this, and I will publish it right after that, and we can see what it looks like. I've published the app again. Click into the organizer dashboard. Now, as the event organizer or event creator, if I scroll down to the bottom, we can see a full list of the invited employees, and it shows the date that they responded, and it shows their status of the RSVP. Zite makes it really easy to solve problems within our organization based off of data like this. Previously, there was no good way to be able to track these types of invites to the different events and conferences. Now is able to solve our problem. So we just have to be able to define our problem, give it an outline of what we're trying to solve for. It will build out a plan for us. We can tweak it. We can build out the application, manages the database, the workflows, and builds the actual user interface. And it will handle authentication as well, whether that's users from directly within our organization, or we need to make it public and external to other users, gives them secure login methods as well, and we're able to quickly iterate and add additional features. Now, there is little bugs and little issues with Zite. It's very early days of building with it. We're able to solve a problem very quickly without investing a ton of time or money or resources into solving this problem that isn't always front and center. Usually companies will just continue to use email and Slack because it's not worth their time to solve this problem, but it is still a major headache for those responsible. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more tutorials and videos in the future.